Okay, so I just got out of seeing A Quiet Place Day One, and this is a good prequel. It's not great by any means. It doesn't top the other two Quiet Place movies that came beforehand, but Day One does a good job at executing a well done story while decently developing on our main characters. But my biggest complaint with A Quiet Place Day One is it doesn't expand the lore. It doesn't give you any new information, any new story that you haven't already been told in the previous two films. And it doesn't explain the big glaring question that we've all been wondering since the very first Quiet Place, which is, where did these creatures come from? How did they get down to Earth? How are they so sensitive to sound? You know, this film just felt like another Quiet Place movie. And somehow our main characters, within minutes of the invasion starting, they know that the one key rule to survival is to not talk, don't make a sound. And, you know, I just felt like in a situation like this, it would be more panic. You wouldn't, it's not like you've been analyzing these creatures, for decades. It's not like you know all the ins and outs on how to survive. So, there is definitely a level of disbelief in this story. And speaking of disbelief, there's a cat in this film that I think a lot of people will take away as being the highlight of this movie. But here, I call a lot of bullshit on the cat in here, because a cat that doesn't meow, that doesn't hiss, that is somehow very loyal and knows where her owner is every second throughout the runtime. Like, yeah, cats don't do that. Cats do not do that. So, there's definitely disbelief in this film, but there's also a lot of pros to the film. There's a lot of really tense sequences in this film. The film doesn't use sound design as good as the previous two films, I'd say. But the ending of this film is one of the most emotional endings, or probably the most emotional ending out of the three Quiet Place movies that we have so far. But for what Day One is, like, this is a perfectly enjoyable Quiet Place movie. Just don't go in expecting anything new, anything different. Just watch the first two Quiet Place movies. You'll probably get a better experience with them. But, as a prequel, I could have asked for maybe a little bit more.